All right, and to my knowledge, I think, at least from what I've heard from other top players, Potato is very happy to just all spin at extremely fast speeds. So going to be keeping a close eye on that. One try on the I spin, it didn't work. Potato immediately abandoning ship and just looking for a different opportunity. Oh my goodness, and there is the 20 spike there from LYSETTE. Taking the first round. Actually, wasn't that the T-spin triple tower that we called out? I was looking at Potato trying to fix the board at the moment. That might have just been the T-spin triple tower that was called out earlier. Fortunately, I'm going to have to wait for the instant replay to verify that information. Another 20 spike there from LYSETTE, and unfortunately, the board not being too favorable for downstacking on Potato's end. And that is going to be a quick 2 games to LYSETTE. All right, and Potato just building the SDPC spin into mid-game. Having to cut Surge a little bit early, but still finds an impressive downstack using all of the eyepieces for just an incredibly efficient pattern. Potato able to get on the board. All right, and LYSETTE once again, I believe this is Fairy Cannon, but going to be building up the Fractal instead of the T-spin triple tower. And Potato doing a wonderful job with these all spins. You can see that Surge is building up incredibly quickly, in contrast to LYSETTE, who's really having to rely on a bit of that defense for the time being. Is able to build Surge on his own, though, but just barely enough to protect from all of that damage from Potato's end. All right, as things start to settle out a little bit, LYSETTE is not able to complete the downstack, has that misdrop J piece, and Potato evens things up. It is 2 games apiece.
2-2. Already off the bat. We're already tied. Another match, another tie game to start. Ooh, but LYSETTE kind of with some really, some nasty misdrops here.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna...
Yeah, that's gonna cost them a round.
All right, so Potato with a slight lead, continuing to go for some more SDPC spin as LYSETTE goes for the Fairy Cannon T-spin triple tower. Does not decide to combine the TP. Oh no! A couple of tragedies there on the top of that T-spin triple tower prevent the utility of that second T-spin triple. Fortunately, would have needed a little bit of the 180s there to save it, but fortunately, I think there was too much of the piece movement that was going to be a risky decision to gamble on. And
look at
17 search like.
Ooh, Potato's starting to run away with the lead now, very quickly, in fact.
Well, no early O this time, so Potato's going to have to build. Okay. Never mind, SDPC still works out. Okay, wasn't aware of that continuation, but alas, that is the case. I guess somehow, despite O not showing up in the first 5 pieces, it is still an early O bag. And yeah, that is just so much damage very quickly. I do not see a good opportunity there for LYSETTE to downstack that. Potato continuing to run away with these STPC spin starts. Oh, never mind. Okay, we're going for PCO. I guess switching things up a little bit. And LYSETTE with the fractal continuation of Fairy Cannon into the all spins there on the center well. Potato going to break that surge at around 10. Does do a little bit, not exactly cheese on LYSETTE's board, but the well is changing quite frequently, which may cause some issues on the down stack. You can see some of these eye pieces having to get used on top of the stack and not for the garbage underneath. Potato, a little bit of a mini down stack. It does cheese up LYSETTE's board. And I think for the most part, you can kind of see as well, like Potato has not really had to send as much garbage, but a lot of it has been incredibly efficient leaps and bounds, with the rest of it just being very small, quick little footsie mechanics to cheese up LYSETTE's board. And right now, this is a pretty hefty run we have at the moment from Potato. Like I said, going for the T-spin triple tower. Able to continue with the all-spins. Fantastic spike. Forces Potato to break back-to-back, but not out of the woods. And LYSETTE manages with a 400 versus round to continue out with the win and finally clawing back some much-needed momentum. Oh, the T-spin on there from LYSETTE. Unfortunately, the overhang was a little bit too tall for the T-piece. Not going to be getting the damage bonus for that, unfortunately. And, oh, Garbage was a little bit risky. I think almost got 1 in 10 there on Potato's end, but fortunately did not. And, oh,
Potato's starting to build up a surge here. But LYSETTE is actually not too far behind. If Potato takes long enough.
Oh, wow. Beautiful use of the all-spins. Just absolutely wonderful plays. That's a crazy way to keep the all-spins, but somehow Potato with the larger surge is able to still deliver so much garbage that LYSETTE is not able to counter, even with the surge pop of his own. There's just no way to counter those 40 lines without also utilizing some much-needed clean garbage. All right, some center well clean garbage there. LYSETTE able to maintain a lot of efficiency on that down stack and get a lot out of those clean eyepieces. Potato right now has a bit of surge, utilizing that eye spin to continue the clean stack. Is going to have to pop surge shortly thereafter, but still very, very strong amount of pressure. And again, I love using those, S and Z spins to keep things clean and keep the back-to-back on the left and right side. But we've got a little bit of desync right now, and this is going to make playing quite difficult. And there's the spike.
LYSETTE is just met with a huge spike. Yeah, no, that's... Manages to stick through just a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer. Long enough to keep
finding a down stack.
Long enough to stay alive.
And staying alive, building a surge in the meantime. And all of a sudden, this is looking very, very nice for LYSETTE. Times that down stack spike with surge. But Potato able to react in time, utilizing surge on his own front to keep up that defense. Holds onto the eyepiece, waits for the pressure to come in from LYSETTE.
LYSETTE's doing a fantastic job of maintaining this, round. Like, despite the circumstances, despite being completely in the dark about what his opponent is doing. Case in point, right now, like
I was gonna say, yep, this is terrifying because
you don't know what's going on.
Playing.
You have to keep playing. You don't know what's going on. It's terrifying. You don't all you can do is just think about what your opponent might do and play around that.
Yeah, but after even 3 seconds, your opponent could be 2 bags through in the queue, and it's just unbelievably difficult to understand.
Yeah, well, I mean, LYSETTE did a good job that round of maintaining it. Potato, however, still takes the round. Now 2 points away from victory. LYSETTE setting up that TST tower.
There's the Fairy Cannon continuation. The T-spin triple tower has been completed. You can see LYSETTE looking for ways to all-spin underneath as the stack gets lower and lower, trying to build up the surge extremely quickly without setting off too much damage at the moment to deliver that nasty spike in the 16 surge. Potato has some eyepieces.
That's going to be enough, and LYSETTE's going to start... This may be the start of LYSETTE's big comeback.
I mean, there's not a lot of time to do it, but if these, T-spin triple towers or potential exotic setups from Fairy Cannon could be extremely important, this might be a good time to utilize it. However, LYSETTE right now has to launch Surge. Potato able to hold on to it for a little bit longer, and the eye miss drop from LYSETTE. Very unfortunate. could have had a potential down stack to live that scenario, but that is not going to be the case when the eyepiece unfortunately skewers Lysette's board in the center. And this is do or die for Lysette. Match point for Potato. A win here would be 2 wins, 2 losses, and move on to a set 5 scenario, hoping to advance into the TWC's top 32, but Lysette able to grab another round and keep his tournament run alive.
Yeah, no, this
Right,
is
PC.
it's just scary for Lysette right now.
Yeah, the PCO there from Potato does not go for the perfect clear. And Lysette's a little bit of a misdrop, gonna have to use an all-spin to clean up that stack. And honestly, both players not really building up Surge too much. I think Potato might be a little bit ahead in that department. Lysette trying to go for a downstack multiplier to poke Potato out of that Surge advantage, but it's not going to be effective. Potato continuing to build up this back-to-back Surge. Lets it go in one fellow swoop, but look at this downstack from Lysette in order to stay alive once again. Managing to deal with nearly 20-30 lines all in one spike. And has
Look
an
at that.
opportunity
Oh
to
my god,
gain
look at
garbage.
that. Manages
Oh,
to
but-
stay alive.
Well, this is
For how-
greedy
for
for
how much
gold.
longer? Oh,
Lysette
this might be
gets-
curtains.
This
I
is
think
it.
this is-
Lysette gets stuck having to burn the eyepiece and cannot use it for the clean garbage on the right. And that is going to be game, set, match for Potato. Advancing on by the just that run early on in the set that was what, like 5 or 6 rounds all in a row was literally